And we're back with another fun-filled episode.
Yes, this is Learning to Curse. That's Adam right there.
That's Chuck.
I'm Chuck. He's Adam.
You can't see. He's right there.
I'm right here.
Right.
Hi.
Right? No, left. If you have your headphones on right, then he's left.
Yeah.
And I'm right.
Yeah, pull the wool out of your ears, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, damn it. I think we're getting better at this.
I think so. Practice makes permanent.
I'm still sick. Eventually, I'll have my real voice.
One of those days. He'll be a real boy.
One of those days, I want to be a real voice.
So today, what we want to discuss...
Ghosties.
Ghosty toast.
Ghosty toast.
And
it's not like Melba toast, but white.
Sort of, yeah.
I'm making it racial.
It's dead bread.
Damn it. Dead breads.
Dead bread.
What if it's like the band that follows the Ghosty toasts?
Yeah.
The dead beds. The dead breads.
Dead bread and the Ghosty toasts.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great name for a
and Josie.
band.
Josie and the Ghosties.
It's a very hipster band right there. We are Dead Bread and the Ghosty Toasts.
We don't fucking care.
We wrote this song about our drummer's ex-girlfriend. Fuck you, Karen.
Karen. It reminds me of that one song, remember? The only song I like by them. Shit. Oh, well. Steal My Sunshine.
Oh, God, I hate that song. Lynn?
Isn't it, Sharon? Or is it Karen? I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about, Adam. I never know. You've got all these weird, obscure references that I don't get.
I know. I do that at work all the time. It's funny when some of the older people, like I start to lose some of the young people with my references.
Yeah.
And then the older people are like, ho, 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 like, clever boy. They don't really talk like that, but I mean, that's like the expression.
They do.
They do.
Yeah, they do.
In my mind, they do.
Yeah,
now in your mind,
that's
too.
That's all you hear.
And in the minds of the listeners. Listeners everywhere.
That young fella's the bee's knees.
Oh, man, he's the bee's knees. I love that one, too, bee's knees.
God damn it. God damn it with your old time sayings. Fuck off.
So I'll start to lose some of the young folks with some of the things that I say, and then the old people are like, oh yeah, that's great. And then I say something fucking totally obscure, and they're like, there's like that laugh of like, I know it's funny, but I don't know what the fuck that is.
All right. So now that we've lost all of the new listeners from our little tangent, we are talking about ghost experiences, quote unquote.
Yes.
Quote unquote ghost.
Ghosties. We don't like calling them ghosts.
I ain't afraid of no goats.
I ain't afraid of no goats. I love goats.
Goats
I keep trying to persuade my wife to get a goat.
They eat everything.
Exactly. Well, you know what? I told her, and nobody's gonna be able to see this at home, but I was like moving my chin around like I'm chewing, and I got a goatee. Yeah. And I told her, how could you come home from work from a bad day, see a goat in the kitchen, just going,
and not picturing it eating it's just cunnilingus.
Yeah. No, she's all, because it probably fucking ate something. I'm like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. And they like to buck around.
Yeah. Little bastards.
Break everything.
Knocking things over.
My basset hound's bucking around enough.
You should get some fainting goats.
Or some screaming, fainting goats.
Make a loud noise and they just fall over.
It's just, and they start making noise and you make a noise, like, and you go,
they
fall.
Your dogs start barking and the goats just faint.
Fall.
All right. So, I believe way back of our introduction episode, I discussed a situation in which a group of me and my fellow humanoids set up a video camera, and for some goddamn reason, I couldn't think of the goddamn word video camera.
That old video thing.
The video recorder.
The thing that didn't have a phone attached to it.
Thingy. Yeah, that's what happens 20 years of technology later.
And 20 years of drinking.
Yeah,
or more.
Yeah, shrooms. Delicious shrooms.
It's a me, Mario. I'm going to eat a mushroom and duck in the pipe and take a shit, sir.
I don't know what you just said, but it was beautiful.
Mario.
I know.
Did you know Mario's last name was Mario?
Yeah.
And Luigi's last name was Mario?
Yeah.
That's actually a lie, which is kind of funny. It's like the truth. Is it truth or fiction? Because for the longest time I believed that shit. See,
it is.
And it's kind of like an example of.
It fucking is. It's
I know.
Mario, and Luigi Mario.
I know. That's what I thought too. But then I heard from the creator, not literally and not God, but the creator of Mario Brothers. It's not Mario.
It's not?
Mandela Effect, dude.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. To be continued.
Mandela Effect.
Episode 25.
I've been goddamn bamboozled.
Episode 25 will be about Mandela Effect.
Yeah.
But we're not married to what number episode it is.
It's probably gonna be like episode 455.
25 twats.
Yes, episode banana. We are gonna evolve past the need for numbers and just use weird, obscure references for the numbering of our podcast.
You'll get a number in text, but not verbally.
Yeah.
No verbal confirmation of what it is.
Yeah. So yeah, I made a little anecdotal information about this situation that I had where I lived in a house and there was ghosts, quote unquote. Motherfucker with a little phantom hand shut off the camera.
Yep.
And it was weird as hell. So yeah, more about that house that I lived in.
In Maryville. A sunny place.
Actually, this one was in Phoenix.
Was that?
I had moved.
Where was that one? Was that closer to Levine?
No, it was when I lived on Roosevelt.
Okay.
And
yeah.
just south of the freeway on 67th Avenue. So living in this house, and it was at
He's
this
scratching
point,
his balls.
Yeah, that's what that sound is. You can hear it.
Yes.
Sorry, guys.
Don't be ashamed.
I wasn't really scratching my balls. I was scratching yours balls. So this house that we lived in, ever since like the first day we moved in, this house was fucking weird. And at a certain point when we lived in this house, I was given an upright piano, which I still have to this day. It's a fantastic little beast. But as part of my ever-growing musical instrument collection, I have this upright piano. And when I was 14, 15 years old, I got this piano and I'm just sitting there playing it, and decided I wanted to record myself playing the piano. Turn on the tape recorder and let it go, just let it run. This isn't a video recorder. This is a tape recorder, audio tape. For you listeners out there who are, millennials, you might not know this, but there used to be an audio medium that was this little tiny cassette. It was a reel-to-reel cassette, and a tiny little recorder. And so what I did was I just set it on top of the piano. I hit, record. You actually had to press play and record at the same time, push them both down together, and play the piano. This melodic, beautiful piano noise coming through, and God, like a day or two later, I'm like, I rewound it and I was listening back to it, and halfway through this recording, I hear this noise, right? I didn't have it, turned up as loud as it'll go. On that little tape recorder, it didn't get very loud anyway. So I popped it out of that motherfucker and I put it into a stereo and put in some nice headphones, and I'm listening to it, and I keep hearing this noise in the background. And I was the only one in the home at this time. I was the only one in the house. No one else should have been making any noise. It was not my voice. It was this
anxiety level plus 100.
Right. So I keep trying to dial it in so I could hear it, and I'm like, rewound, and I turn it up a little bit and I play it back. And eventually I get to the point where I can hear a distinct male voice shouting in a foreign language. I would repeat back what it said, but I don't speak that language. It could have been, some like Germanic language. I don't know. I speak English and not very well at that either. But distinctly, there was this voice in this
EVP.
recording. EVP, yeah. Weird situation.
Electronic voice phenomenon.
Yeah. So that's one instance in that house.
Well, to add to that real quick.
Yeah.
I've had some experience with EVP as well.
Yeah.
And the same thing. I mean, obviously, now we have computers. We can compress it. We can bring the little sections up. I mean, this is an old tape that you no longer have.
I'm sure I have it somewhere.
We have to look for it. Because if we can find it, we can enhance
it. I am looking for it presently.
Because I've noticed, and it's something, and I'm gonna get to the point of it here in a minute. But my wife's mother, my mother-in-law, she had a small clock radio that kept turning on. And I was thinking, okay, maybe it's just a glitch. It just turns on. Mm-hmm. So one time we were in their house alone, and everything else in the house is turned off.
Yeah.
Lights are off all down the hallway. It comes blaring on, you know?
Yeah.
Like AM radio or something. So I go...
Was this like on an alarm clock as well? Or just,
yes.
Okay.
And it wasn't set to any particular time. It was going off at all random times. And I'm thinking, sometimes it's possible they can go haywire and have a glitch and just come on. So I grab my wife's camera at the time. I run down the hallway, flip on the lights, and start videoing, hoping to catch some kind of video anomaly. And I start asking, is anybody here, being all silly and shit?
Yeah.
Nothing on the video. I take it later and I strip the audio, and I didn't hear anything in the audio either.
Yeah.
I stripped the audio, throw it through the computer, throw it through SoundForge, did some tweaking on it, and on parts that made weird little sounds.
Just to let the audience know here.
Not literal tweak.
Right. Adam and I have, experience of being able to manipulate audio.
Yes.
But not to the point where we would be able to, we could probably create something that sounds...
We could create false EVPs, I believe.
False EVPs. But what Adam's talking about right now is compression and removing...
To enhance it and hear it better.
Yeah.
Noise reduction, compression. So I was trying to find little bits, like little bits in the wave where it was mostly silent after asking questions, which was just I was being silly. Like, is anybody here?
Yeah.
And I'd be quiet and I'd walk around. And there was like no one talking, no sounds. I would stop, try to be silent, not to contaminate it. My wife was clear across the house, no TVs on, and there was like a little blip. I'm like, okay, well, what is that? And then I enhanced it, and it sounded like a voice saying, with like a southern accent, going, "Were they here?" And I'm like, what the fuck? I gotta chill.
So it was an idiot in your expression. Somebody that you would consider like slow or dumb.
No.
That's always your go-to.
There are some southern idiots, but not all southern people are.
Those motherfuckers are taking my squirrels.
There are southern idiots, and there are very smart southern people.
Yes.
And there are
Colonel Sanders.
Yeah.
That secret recipe is motherfucking delicious.
Them Yankees, there's some dumb Yankees too. There you go, just to clarify.
Yeah.
So I hear that voice, and then I hear some like feminine voice after it, but more garbled. I couldn't tell what it says, but it's like something like, well, yes, once or twice, blah 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 blah, something kind of like that.
And
along those lines.
Like it wasn't the radio still making noise.
No,
and
the radio is turned off because I ran down the hallway, turned the light on, turned that radio off.
Okay.
And then I started posing these questions.
Okay.
So it was complete silence.
It wasn't like sound that was being picked up from like an AM radio station.
The only
like
sound that would be
like
that would be in there would be the hum of the camera itself, which is present when you in audio from the camera.
But that's not going to make
a voice,
discernible voice,
a fucking voice.
Yeah.
And and there's just nobody else around, so and no TVs on or anything like that. Could it be that it was so intensely compressed that it was maybe a voice from a neighbor's yard? Possible.
Right.
But what I noticed is, after the fact of compression, I can go back to the original video and be like, I hear it now in the original video. Just very tiny.
Yeah.
Just very low.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, I know where it's at now. Okay, yeah, I do hear that in there. And since I know what it says, I can hear how it would say that there. But it took the compression to really realize what the fuck it was. So I showed her mother this. And her mother says it sounds like her dad.
How long has he been dead?
Years and years.
Okay.
So
I'm sorry to assume that he was dead.
No. Well, I mean,
yeah. It's like, yeah, it sounds
he
like his
sounds
dad.
a lot like my living father.
They keep him in the closet.
Exactly. So
he's not well. But
so my mother-in-law says it sounds like her father.
Yeah.
My wife's grandfather. So doesn't mean anything. It could just be that it just sounded similar. It could be somehow that EVPs are picking up on radio waves. Somehow.
Now, to go towards that, remember when I was talking in the Phoenix Lights episode where I had the cordless phone, right? And I used the chain link fence that was in my back porch, and I touched the antenna to the chain link fence to get a better reception. I don't know if you remember this about old cordless phone and old.
I remember they could zap you too.
Well, not even that is that those old cordless phones can pick up other people's conversations.
Exactly. Now, can a camera do that?
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Is that something that somehow the frequency is able to be emitted because it's just radio waves?
Yeah.
through the through this.
It could have still been TV or radio, or it could have been other people talking on a phone elsewhere.
Because I mean, you've had that experience, right?
Yes.
Where you're talking on a cordless phone and you're
it
like
fades out, and all of a sudden another conversation comes in. And you're like, what the hell?
Yeah,
I remember that in the 90s.
How many of our listeners are older than 28?
Yeah,
that would know what we're talking about.
And remember that.
Yeah,
but to the point I'm trying to get to, and it's a long journey to get there. But so I know there's EVPs out there that are called Class A's, where they're definite responses to the questions. Okay. I don't feel that these were definite responses.
Yeah,
to my
it doesn't
question.
really sound like a specific call and response.
Yeah,
like you ask.
And I'm actually going to post this later.
Answers your question specifically.
I'll actually post this on online on social media. That way, everybody can hear it for themselves.
Like you're gonna post the original and the version that you cleaned up.
Exactly.
Okay.
So there's evidence there. That'll be our evidence we put forward.
Right.
But yeah, so in this case, it wasn't a direct response to. It wouldn't be what you call a Class A. But to tie this to what Chuck was saying, it was just like a little sound. You know, that I once after enhancing, like in your case, you were just turning it louder and louder and louder.
Right.
And then you heard it.
Right. Like
once you hear it, you probably couldn't unhear it, even at a lower volume.
Yeah, I couldn't unhear it.
It's there.
It's there.
Yeah.
Like
there's something psychological
it's there,
to that.
Definitely something noticeable in that recording
that made you entice you to listen.
That made me want to go, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
You know? And, at the time I played it for my brother and he refused to ever listen to it again.
And that's the point I wanted to make too, is when I initially listened to the video on the camera, I didn't hear anything. When I listened to it on the computer, I wasn't listening that intently to hear anything. Nothing jumped out that loud. It was after enhancing it. But in your case, you heard it right away. You heard something low.
Something, yeah. But what compelled you to want to enhance it?
Messing around with trying to get curiosity, yeah. Because I was like, if I didn't get any video anomalies, I'll try audio.
Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, there's some EVP shit there.
Yeah. And Chuck is gonna look for that tape, and if he finds it, we're gonna.
I've got a stack of tapes. I got a stack of your old Sandman tapes that you gave me.
Rapper music,
fantastic stuff.
Oh,
some of it was really good. Man. Some of it was really good.
Oh, it's I don't think any of it got good until the early 2000s. Maybe late 90s.
I think you maybe that's what I have. So all stuff.
It was like 90s.
Was it all the 90s stuff? Okay.
The rock stuff, much better.
Yeah. I'm just saying. The rap stuff wasn't bad.
We're all harder on ourselves.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, some of the music that you're listening to right now, I probably could have recorded a lot better. But at the time and the means that I had, this is what you get. So fuck off.
Yep, there you go.
So, anywho, back to this house that I'm living in, right?
Yes.
So this isn't actually the first house that I lived in that had weird shit going on.
It follows people, though.
Right.
Or if things are present, they may not make themselves evident to one family that moves in, but a family that's more receptive to that stuff, it may make it more present to them. So it could be different phenomenon house to house, but it's because of you guys that
right.
Coming up.
Now, one of the theories that because there was shit that followed us around. A lot.
The same stuff, same phenomena.
Similar stuff, but not necessarily the same. Like, I remember my earliest memory of shit happening. Now, I'm full disclosure, people. I have mental issues.
Me too.
I definitely have anxiety issues. I have depression issues. Not really anything that would manifest itself into like hallucinations, though.
Yeah.
So, weird stuff.
I have severe anxieties, agoraphobia, on and off. I mean, some social anxiety, but like Chuck, nothing like I'm not hearing voices.
Yeah, it's not like a schizophrenia type situation over here. But the earliest memory that I have is me as a child, trying to go to sleep and seeing floating zombie heads by my door.
I remember you telling me that years ago. Yeah,
weird fucking heads just floating by my door. So that was weird, but. Who knows what that was? I mean, that could have been just because, there was a certain point in my life when I was a child that I actually did have a mild insomnia. I did not sleep a lot.
The lack of REM sleep.
That, and I have sleep apnea, so I don't get REM sleep.
There you go.
Who knows? That could be
something could be manifesting that you could always see.
There could be shit going on. There
or it could be with you.
Or it could have been in my head.
Exactly.
Again, I don't have hallucinations, audio or visual or otherwise. I'm pretty grounded in reality at this point in my life, but I mean, again, at the time when I was younger, who knows?
I feel like in one area where we're both very lucky is we both have experiences that were by ourselves.
Yeah.
But we both had experiences where we were with others.
Right.
They could validate it. Like,
Right, exactly.
You know, yeah, it's still more eyewitness testimony, but we know we're not crazy personally because we have other people that have seen it with us.
That's true. That's true. I mean, there have been times when shit has happened when it was just me, and I'm like, well, fuck. Am I losing my mind?
Yeah.
But then again, something else would happen where there's other people there to validate these situations.
It's external. It's not just
right.
me.
So, you know, going towards that. So that was one house that we lived in, and that was just kind of the weird thing. One weird thing that happened in that house where I saw the floating heads. At a certain point, because I was, you know, having a hard time sleeping, I made a little. I basically converted this small little closet into my sleeping area. Right, you know, a little sleeping bag, and I didn't want to sleep in my bed because I could see the heads
because
from
of
there.
that. So it was reoccurring.
It was reoccurring, yeah. So I'm sleeping in the closet, and out of nowhere, I just sit up, and we've already discussed this earlier. I don't speak any other goddamn languages, right?
Yeah.
I'm barely coherent with English sometimes, especially depending on how many drinks I've had in me or how much marijuana I have consumed. But I distinctly remember, for whatever reason, knowing the language. I sat up out of sleep and was speaking French.
Oh, shit.
I spoke French, quote unquote, speaking a whole.
And you can confirm this because of this, like the similarities and the.
I mean, just from listening to like the cadence of people speaking French and what I was saying, I'm assuming it was like French or Belgian, and I think they're about the same language. I don't know, but I don't know. I don't know what I was saying. Now, I wish I had a way of had been recording it at the time, so I could go back and you know, observe this. Now I know that there are situations, there's, you know, I wouldn't say like a mental disorder or whatever, but, there's, you know, foreign language syndrome, which I think I do somewhat have an affliction of, because every once in a while I'll start talking in a different accent.
There you go.
And I do that all the fucking time.
I do that all day, joking around. I cannot
stop myself from doing it. Right now I'm doing it on purpose, but but that's an accent.
Yeah.
It's not speaking a different language.
Not even learning it, just doing it.
Just doing it out of nowhere. Just sit up in the middle of the goddamn night. Like, you know, like the shitty movies where somebody's having a bad dream and they sit up like you never do during a bad dream.
No.
Who the fuck does that? Nobody does that. But I did.
Wow.
I literally sat up and was speaking another language.
Oh, shit.
Like something possessed me to do so. Now I don't. Honestly, I don't believe that you know, physical like manifestations or possession is something that can happen per se, but I can't rule it out.
It's true.
Now I'm not going to say what it was that was quote unquote possessing me at that moment. But something happened. It was weird. It's an experience.
It's quite possible that he could be channeling
The shitty
something.
thing about it is that this is all anecdotal. You're just taking it from my word. I could be pulling all of this out of my ass. I guarantee you I'm not. But you're going to have to take it at face value. You believe it, you don't believe it.
And if you had a similar experience to any of these things, let us know.
Yeah, let us know, definitely. If something like this happened to you as a child or recently, let us know. If it's a weird phenomenon that does happen, definitely let us know. It would help me a lot, you know.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't like a crazy child. I was a crazy child, but in different ways. But yeah. So there's that. That's the first couple of weird experiences, the floating heads and the sitting up and speaking French. So we moved to a different house, the one I was telling you about on 67th Avenue with the piano. Have you heard of shadow people?
Yes.
Okay. This house was full of shadow people.
And that's something that I like to bring.
Like,
I won't say who, but a friend of ours that we need to bring on.
The shadow person who wears the hat that's like a specific thing. He would follow me down my hallway.
Shit.
There was this one time I was washing dishes and the window was, you know, facing the backyard, and there was a little extension to the house off to the right side, right? So the wall, it was like kind of lined up with that window, right? So a tall, dark-figured man wearing a
big old hat,
like a fedora hat, walks out into the middle of my backyard, and I'm washing dishes, and I see this happen, and I'm like, what the hell is that? And I turn around to, notify my brother that there's some weird asshole in our backyard, and when I turn back, it's gone.
Oh, shit.
Right? And it was basically the same shape and size as what would follow me down the hallway. Now, the one that would follow, the one that I saw out the window was more, I would say, solid looking, as opposed to the one that would follow me down the hallway, which was more shadowy.
And that came later?
It was all at the same time.
Okay.
It was all around the same time. Ever since we moved into that house on 67th and Roosevelt. So, yeah, weird, quote unquote ghosty ghosts in that house. Now, is that something to do with spirits, dead people that were, living in that area, or and died, and their remnants of their soul,
or residual, what they call like the residual hauntings.
Residual energies,
like just those energy of those things happening there,
right?
And then repeating.
Or could it be, there's so much about time and space that we don't understand.
Exactly.
That what these situations are, what these entities are just a slight rip in the fabric of space-time.
It could be things that are happening in physicality elsewhere,
right?
And it's bleeding in, kind of like when you're situated with radio between two stations.
Or is it like, could it be like a frequency thing where like a vibration of energies?
It could be a whole just species of entity that are at a higher vibration.
What I think, for the most part, what's bothersome to me is being skeptical, because I'm not, again, I'm not going to say definitively one way or another. This is it was a ghost.
Yeah.
But it was something. It was an experience that I had. But what was it? What caused it? How do we, as a species, as a scientific minded people, how do we get to the point where we can actually study these things and actually put this stuff to the test and figure out what it is exactly, get an answer? Answers are great, you know. And for those of you who hold a religious belief, please, I'm not knocking you. I'm not making fun. I'm really just sincerely, this is how I feel. But there is, the discussion of the God of the gaps. And those gaps are getting narrower and narrower. That God doesn't.
Science is taking away.
Has narrowed those gaps.
Yeah.
To the point where what we once would call God is now understood by science.
All the magical things we would attribute to a god or this god or that god is science's answer.
All the previous supernatural things that would occur, we can now attribute to a natural thing. So I honestly don't believe that there are any supernatural or supernatural things that occur. I think honestly everything that occurs is a natural occurrence. We just don't have a way of yet determining what that natural occurrence is or what's causing it.
Exactly.
And honestly, I would love to get to the point where we do understand these things.
I think we're getting closer and closer.
Yeah, I mean, definitely getting closer, but that's the one thing. I mean, again, as an atheist, I don't really fear death, other than the fact that I am going to die and not be able to see what comes next. Considering 100 years ago, the technology that we had, the understanding of science, the understanding of the world that we had was so much less
minuscule compared to what we have now.
And just in the last 20 years, the developments of technology and science and understanding has grown exponentially. And considering what's going to happen in the next 10 years, and I know you shush. 10 years is...
You stop it, Flappy.
Yeah. 10 years isn't a lot. I mean, I'm not even yet middle-aged, but 10 years, great things can be accomplished. 20 years, great things can be accomplished. Things can be understood and things can be known. about what causes certain things that we don't yet understand. 30 years, 40 years, 100 years from now, we will probably have the answers to these questions, and I will be dead and I won't know the answer. And that's what bothers me about mortality.
Well, the one thing you have going for you is if you look at how fast technology is advancing.
Right.
Now, for each 10 years down the line is going to be slower in growth than the subsequent 10 years.
Yeah, I know that too, but and that's a great.
But at the same time, to bring it back down again, are we going to die? Are we going to die way before then?
Yeah, exactly. But also, who's looking? You know, who's seriously looking to the answers to these questions? Yes, a lot of people will be like on one side of the fence or the other and saying, yes, these are ghosts. And they've just already given an explanation to it. And then the other people are over here like, ghosts don't exist. Yeah. And you're just making shit up. Well, there are those of us here who are of a skeptical mind,
and we're going to
look at it and say, yeah, you're probably right, ghosts don't exist, but this shit happened. Some fucking weird ass shit
and there's
happened.
Got to be an answer to it.
There's got to be an answer to it. And those of you out there listening to this, if you've had similar experiences where you're like, this is something that I've experienced and I want to know, maybe more of us that want to know. And don't just brush it off as saying, giving it a definitive answer and saying, you know, like where we had God in those gaps and now we have ghosts in those weird gaps.
Or that we continue, or people that continue to not question.
Yeah.
Because they leave it all up to their gut.
Right. Yeah. It's like, I mean, if we didn't question things, we would never have found penicillin.
Exactly.
We never would have found out why corpses rot and decay in the way that they do and stop opening up, you know, fucking, caskets and stabbing people in the heart so they didn't come back as vampires. You know, we understood these things at a certain point. There was a time in our history where we would open up coffins and chop off people's heads or stab them in the heart to prevent them from coming back from the dead.
Or tie strings to them
so
and hang it over a tree so they could ring the bell. Yeah. That's where the dead ringer comes from.
So, I mean, back then, I mean, because our technology was so shit, our medical understanding was shit.
Our understanding of death has changed quite a bit. Yeah. I mean, we know that there's a heart death, and then there's a brain death, and then, there's... Yeah. You know what, guys? I think it's that time.
It's that time. I'm at my breaking point, guys.
And we're back.
And Adam, I want to apologize.
Again.
I want to apologize for that shitty transition into our break, and I apologize for
It didn't have that oomph.
It didn't have the energy. It didn't have the...
It was more ghostly.
It was very ghost. It was ghosty ghost. I think I was being possessed.
There's like a good coming, and then there's like an old man...
Right. There wasn't, like if a man could fake an orgasm and also have an orgasm at the same time, that's what happened.
It sounded like that.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's what happened. So, more about the ghosty ghost experiences.
Brought to you by Mountain Dew.
Yes, today we were drinking some Mountain Dew because...
we had beer earlier, but we're getting tired. We're old men.
Yes. More of those mouth noises for those of you who are really into ASMR.
Out there's a bunch of...
people getting 40, off right now.
I know that too.
Do it again.
There's a bunch of 40-somethings and up hating us like, you're not old.
Yeah. Well, fuck you. We're old enough.
I'll be 40 in a few years.
I have gray hair.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, right now it's blue. Still.
He's a Smurf.
Yeah. Some more of the uncanny experiences that I've had. Back when I was a rebellious hoodlum, me and my brother and his friend and my friend would go just driving around like idiots in the middle of the night in the summertime.
Driving around in their automobile.
Right.
With no particular place to go.
Exactly. And something about my ding-a-ling. That's a different song. Sorry.
Different song.
Sorry. So, hold on. This isn't a ghosty ghost. This is me moving the mic. All right. And that jingling noise, that's not rattling chains, that's my keys. So we used to drive around and just weirdly, like, basically what we would do is we'd pick a road and see how far west we could go, or east, or whatever.
I used to borrow people's cars and do that.
Yeah. So this
To the point
particular
where they
time,
fall asleep.
in Phoenix, Arizona, if you're familiar with the area, just south of the I-10 freeway is a road called Van Buren. And at one point...
Some delicious spots of Van Buren you can find.
Oh, yeah.
Hookers.
No, this is the different direction. This didn't have hookers unless they were dead hookers chopped up into little pieces and buried. But, so, let's see, what would it be, like 20 some odd years ago?
Yeah.
20...
That before it got really built up out there. Because at that time...
There was nothing out there.
Fucking cornfields and cotton fields.
Empty fields.
And irrigation before you left our neighborhood. And then it was desert.
It was desert.
And then
there was some
desert.
There were at the end of, as far west as you could drive on Van Buren at the time, you get to a road called Tut Hill. And right there on Van Buren and Tut Hill, there was this old dilapidated house. And being the stupid, rebellious teenagers that we were, we decided, hey, this looks creepy. Let's freak ourselves out. So we went there, and some crazy shit happened in that house, or at that house. We even went inside. At a certain point, one of the times that we visited there, because we went there multiple times. And one of the first times that we went there, we got inside in the kitchen. It was just gross. Dilapidated, old, falling apart, condemnable.
Asbestos.
Yeah. Well, so you know how like if you were to remove all the cabinet doors from where the sink is, you got that piece of wood in between where the doors would close together. There was a chain. And so we followed this chain down to this pile of crap in the middle of the kitchen.
Oh, fuck.
And there's a flattened dog.
What the fuck?
Like, it I mean, I'm sure it was there long enough that it just rotted away,
Exactly.
but the way it looked was that it was cut in half, not like from the waist, but like
shit.
down the middle, like one like left half, right half, and
What
we were
the
looking
fuck?
at the right half of the dog. But I'm sure it was just, us freaking ourselves out. It wasn't really cut in half. It was just a dead dog that was, mummified and,
This is Accordion Dog, brought to you by your local devil worshippers.
Dehydrated dog that was just there. And that was weird because it's just chained up in the fucking kitchen. Nobody cleaned it up. It's just weird, right?
Yeah.
So weird things happened. There was a certain point we were walking around in the house. You've heard of white ladies, right?
Yeah.
That entity. There was this tree out in the front yard, so there wasn't really any fences or anything like that in this area. But there was, you go into the kitchen area because that's the way we went in. I believe that would have been like the side door of the house. There was the kitchen there. We went through the living room, and there was all this weird shit written all over the walls. But we could see out the window, and there was a white lady
Oh, shit.
in the yard.
Yeah, I don't remember that part of the story.
Yeah, I don't think back then. I don't think we haven't really gone into much detail.
Yeah.
It was just weird shit happened, and that's about where we left it. But yeah, it was just a glimpse, and we were like, "Oh fuck!"
What the fuck was that?
Yeah, what the fuck was that? So we hauled ass out of there, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, I think that was the first time we went out there, and being the stupid kids that we were. We went out there multiple times. The next couple of times we went out there, we have explored more. Mm-hmm. But the next time we went out there, the dog was gone.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dog was gone.
Which makes sense when we get to what happened later.
Yeah, it does. I think
There are people.
there were some people. So at a certain point, we were walking around, and there was like this big aluminum or steel structure, like domed like a small airplane hangar. Mm-hmm. Well, another thing too, walking from the house to where that structure is, the little airplane hangar thing. I'm gonna call it an airplane hangar because that's what it looked like, but it was small.
Hangar 18.
It wasn't small like a little shed. but it wasn't for like a jet plane. It was for like a little crop duster type place. So we're walking from where the house is to where that is, and at certain intervals of walking in the dirt, it's softer. Like in smaller areas, like
something got buried,
like graves. Yes, that's what we thought. That's what
I would assume too.
That's what we assumed. Like solid dirt, softer dirt that sinks in when you step on it.
Yep.
Solid dirt.
Was it kind of mounded?
Yeah.
Yeah. See.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're like, oh shit! I think these are graves. This is weird.
Yeah.
So we go into, cause we're stupid, into the airplane hangar.
Oh, no.
And when you walk in on the right side of this airplane hangar thing is like a little, I would say like a office type room, or a shed, where you would keep tools or whatever. Excuse me. And a little.
That's what she said.
Yeah, right. A little creaking door, right? So we push open the fucking door, and it could have been something else. There could have been a different purpose for this, but there was what looked to us like half of an Iron Maiden.
Whoa.
It was like a homemade one. It was like a board with nails in it.
Huh.
Also, and rusty brown discoloration in the shape of a body. Like somebody had miscalculated their bed of nails trick and fucked up really badly. But and so we go in there and noises, like banging on metal noises.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Did we not talk about this with you?
Yeah, not all of it.
Not all of it. Okay. So,
more like weird shit happened there, and there was a dead dog.
Yeah.
And people chased us. I got the summary.
Yeah, you got the summary.
And that was enough to make me want to go out there.
Yeah, yeah. So
which we'll get to.
Right. So a couple of more times we go out there because again, stupid as fuck.
Abusing
teenagers.
yourselves.
Yeah, basically trying to scare ourselves as much as we possibly could. And some of this could have even just been our hyping ourselves up to be scared.
You see a certain thing and you assume that it may be something else.
Right, but like some of the stuff, it could have been coincidence, but it also is like, this stuff is weird. Like, there's some weird shit going on here. Like the noises, the white lady, which could have been a trick of the light. I don't know. But
did multiple people see it?
Yes, we all saw it.
So
we all saw it.
It's hard to say it was anything other.
Right, yeah. But, I mean, again, looking through a dark house that has no power in the middle of the night, out of a dirty window, out into the yard with a shaded tree, it could have been a play of the light.
Yeah.
And it looked like that, and that's just what the shape looked like, and we all saw the same basic shape. And we're like, okay, that's a ghost lady dancing around in the yard. When we go into the shed, not only did we hear like banging noises, but we heard low demon guttural noises.
I remember you guys talking about that.
Yes. So like, and speaking like in a weird demonic voice, right? So we, again, at that point, we were like, we've had enough. We got out of there. We came back. We fucking came back. So the last time we went out there at night, again, it's me, my brother, his friend, my friend, and our trusty paintball gun. Because you're going to do some fucking damage with a paintball gun, right? So we're out there fucking around, and we're not out there very long this time. And I can't remember who it was. I think it was Jeremy. He looks out into the field next to it, and he's like, "What's that?" We're like, "These glowing orbs are fastly approaching our location, like very rapidly. These glowing dots are coming at us, and they're getting closer and closer."
Yeah.
And no sound at this point.
You're freaked out, not knowing what the fuck they are.
Already fucking freaked the shit out, and we're like, well, we should go. We should get the fuck out of here. So my brother, his friend, me and my friend Jeremy, they're in the bed of the truck. Me and Jeremy they're in the cab. Obviously, it's not my truck. He was driving. Me and Jeremy are in the bed of the truck with the paintball gun, right? And so the lights get close enough for me to see that one of these things that's coming at us is an ATV, right? And then around the corner comes a white pickup truck full of people in hoods.
No. Oh no.
Not like, I wouldn't say like KKK hoods.
Not the pillow people.
Not the motherfuckers. But no, like weird, I would say, honestly, occult hoods.
Yeah.
Like
everything sounds very occulty in there so far.
Right. Like the shallow grave type thing, the weird ass dog thing that's missing, the guttural noises,
the nail pleasure.
Yeah, the little spiky fucking torture area. So we're driving out of there, and at this point in this time, way back when we were going back there, it was a dirt road.
Yeah.
Up until you get to a point, I think, right when you get to, I'd say, Litchfield. I think maybe Estrella Parkway. It was a dirt road.
Yeah.
At a certain point, it had transitioned into blacktop, and so we drive the fuck away, and we're getting chased by this pickup truck. Like I don't know what happened to the ATV. I think they probably stayed behind to check to see if there was anybody else in the house. I don't know. That's just an assumption because we didn't get chased by an ATV. We got chased by the guy that's in the truck with these weird hoods on their face or covering their faces. Now I currently live in the area that we wound up being at, right there around Litchfield and south of Van Buren. There is a police station, and my brother's friend decides to pull into the police station, right? And they go out, or they get out of the car and they go into the police station. And me and Jeremy stay in the bed of the truck. And what do we see driving up and down the street?
The white pickup.
That white pickup truck with those people in it.
Oh shit!
And
still in hoods.
Still in hoods, yes, definitely. Up and down the street a couple of times, and then they leave. And then my brother and his friend come back out. They could have been bullshitting to us that they went in and told them that was what was going on. I don't know because I didn't go in with them. But they told us that they went in and told the cops what was going on. Which, honestly, if they did, I don't see why the cops wouldn't have come out and checked something out.
Yeah,
anything.
exactly.
But or they maybe did an APB or said on the radio, "Hey, there's this white truck following teenagers."
Or when they clock out for the night, they put on hoods too.
Right, they put on the hoods and go chase around teenagers to get them the fuck out of weird places.
Well, because I mean, this is out near
near Buckeye.
Yeah,
yeah,
and we've heard about. I mean, you've heard about that too. That there's supposedly a lot of devil worshiper type people out there, or occultists that live out that way.
Yeah,
I'm not knocking the whole town, but I've heard some shit.
Yeah,
from out there.
Well, especially back then. I mean, now it's a suburb. Like it's a cookie cutter homes in that area. They raised the whole area. Like they tore everything down. Like what's funny is Adam and I and his friend, we were gonna go out there because he was talking to his friend about it.
You guys were telling us the whole story, and we're like, "Fuck, we want to go."
Yeah. And what happened?
So we all pile in the car. We're all psyched up to go see this. We get out there, dirt road, same thing. We're getting excited.
Now this isn't in the middle of the night this time. This is in the middle of the day.
Yeah, because it was the very first time we can go, period. We're like, let's just go. Let's go out there. We get out there, and there's a guy. So we would drive by and act like, we don't mean to stop here. So we're just going to keep going.
Yeah.
Yep, there's a guy there. There's a guy looking at us like, we don't belong there.
Right.
So we just left. And then we just never got around to going back out.
Right. So years later, I forgot about Litchfield or Van Buren and Tuthill. I mean, I didn't forget about it. I told people about it. I just didn't go out there anymore.
Yeah.
Eventually, me and my wife were driving around because she'd been out there with me too. And she'd seen that house.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Oh, there was a time me, her, and our friend Sierra were driving out there during the day. And so we're driving out there, and there's other houses and stuff. They're kind of far apart from each other. They're not too, right next to
I remember there wasn't anything too close.
There was a few houses out there. There was this one. It had 12 dogs, right?
What the fuck?
That just there was a fence.
They raise them for them to slaughter in the fucking cold house.
I don't know, but they were all the same type of dog.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah. Now, one moment they're on the other side of the fence. The next moment they're on the other side of the fence that we are on.
What the fuck?
And like a few of them go under the car. Like we ran over these dogs.
What the fuck?
There were no dead dogs. There was no yipping, no yelping. I think that they're quote unquote ghost dogs.
During the day?
During the day.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I do remember this, like, vaguely back then when you just told me.
Yeah. So that's that. And then, like, years later, we go back.
I think that covers cryptids right there.
Yeah.
Cryptozoology.
At the time, like, back before I became, more and more skeptical about certain things, and I would actually put specific labels on it and try to give it a better explanation in my own head. We all came up with the theory of these dogs protected the ghost house.
Oh, no.
So, to scare anybody away. But, like, that wasn't the only time we ran over these dogs. Me and Jimmy's friend in the truck that we were in, quote unquote, ran over these dogs.
After that or before?
Before that.
Okay.
I was in the bed of the truck and these dogs chased us, and I literally saw one go under the back passenger tire. And I'm looking out there, like I can see no dead dog, no yipping, no yelping, no I just hit a dog, no bump. But I watched it go under the car.
And now you're back out there in the daytime.
This is the daytime, yeah. And so years later, we go back out to the same spot. I mean, this is probably 10 years after the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a suburb now. It's like cookie cutter homes, brand new houses. They like completely tore everything down, which are they crazy? They just built their houses on like this weird demon like burial plot.
Exactly. Well, the thing is, what was the specific business that was there? Was it a house or
it was a house?
A new house in the place of that house.
Yeah. All new houses.
We should still go out there.
We should go out there
and see
and
what we can get.
Yeah.
We bring a recorder, bring a ghost box.
Hear, yeah. I mean, I don't know what we're gonna get at this point, and again, I don't know what was causing the phenomenon at that point.
Yeah.
Back then. But yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
There you go.
Yeah. So, you guys, let us know what you think. If you have any weird situations that you can think of, or anything similar to what I've just talked about. Let us know at Learning to Curse on Twitter. You have anything to add? Anything to talk about?
See, a lot of my stories end up leaning more towards what I would believe is maybe the alien phenomenon.
Okay.
With as far as entities go, and one story in particular that's freaked me out to this day. And I know you and I have talked about dream stuff before, and this could stem off to another topic for another episode, but so I'll probably touch on the story again later. One morning, I wake up.
Yeah.
I'm laying in bed.
Yeah, because you're not currently asleep, right?
No.
You do wake up every morning?
I do wake up.
Okay.
Regularly.
Well, fuck.
That's
shit.
if I get a chance to sleep anymore. Fuck.
Yeah.
You get older and it's like you're busy.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the darndest thing. Fuck.
Sorry, go ahead.
So I wake up. I'm in my bed.
Yeah.
I look around. It's daytime. I'm observing what's going on. I look to my left. And I just get this bad fucking chill, and I'm just like froze.
Yeah.
Because I come to find that there's this woman sitting down, like kneeling down next to my bed.
Yeah.
Almost face to face with me.
Okay. Not face to crotch?
No.
Okay.
That would have been a whole different type of dream. I don't think I would have been as frozen.
Yeah. It might have been a little more stiff, but.
Yeah. Oh, man. So I'm face to face with this woman, and I'm noticing she's blonde.
Yeah.
She has this kind of an unusual type of green colored eyes.
Question for you.
Yes.
She have tits upon tits upon tits upon tits?
No.
Okay.
I did not notice the cleavage.
Okay.
I did not notice that. The face was so striking.
No tit nipples?
No cut nipples.
Okay.
So the face was so striking, and not like in an attractive way. It was just like this unusual looking face.
Yeah.
And
like that uncanny valley situation.
The uncanny valley situation.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Something that it looks human, but something's
not quite right.
off about it. That
Exactly.
it's like, this isn't right.
It's these big eyes.
Yeah. Like Alita.
Green, yes.
Yeah.
Green eyes. I'm getting chills thinking about this because I could see this face, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it freaks me out still to this day thinking about this.
Yeah.
And this is, we're
Was
going
it like
on-
a reptilian?
Well, no. I mean, it looked more human.
Okay.
Maybe kind of like what they say the Nordics look like. To
Okay.
but I don't know.
I thought the Nordics had blue eyes.
Exactly, and I don't have any height reference here because this woman's
leaning
kneeling
over.
down right
Yeah.
next to me, face to face.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck. I mean, just close enough to where I could still see the entirety of the face.
Right.
But you don't expect that shit when you
No,
wake up.
of course not.
And this is clear. I mean, I've clearly woken up. I see this face. She's got blonde hair, these unusually colored green eyes, very large eyes.
Now, is it like no?
It's kind of like our regular eyes, like our regular pupils.
So there's white of the eye.
Exactly.
Okay.
Nothing that would scream definitely alien, but to me it just seemed kind of alien. Like it just did not seem right.
Right.
It didn't seem like a ghost.
It just seemed off.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I come to this realization: there's a woman sitting here looking at me.
And I can't even see her cleavage.
Yeah, I know. And it's boom. I wake up again.
Holy fuck.
And
okay, so that was that. So you hadn't.
So
actually
this was
woken
like
up.
a dream
So
or
you lied
something.
to me a minute ago.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because as far as I was
Oh,
concerned,
it's part of your story.
As far
I
as
get
I
you.
was concerned,
You were awake.
yeah.
Yeah.
From my perspective, I was awake.
Yeah.
I was like fully awake, looking around my room,
What would have
observing.
been weirder is because you woke up, quote unquote, woke up and it was daytime. If like you get scared the shit out of you by this
Yeah.
crazy uncanny valley face, and then you actually wake up and it's nighttime.
That would suck. Like
That would have been fucking
what
weird.
the fuck happened?
Yeah.
So this was almost. It had been almost instant because when I woke up again, the room looked the exact same.
Yeah.
I mean,
no creepy woman.
no woman there. I'm looking around like,
Where did she go?
what the fuck? What? You know, where is this person?
I thought I was gonna get laid. I thought this was gonna be the time I saw the flying V.
She didn't crawl in bed with me, and it's the same lighting in the room and everything.
Yeah.
like no time had passed, and the only feeling I can get is like maybe they got spooked that I realized they were there.
Oh, weird.
It
So
maybe-
like it was like a dream
That's
walker
kind of like
type
the
thing.
feeling I got. Like maybe they realized that I realized they were there.
So
And
like
then-
you had a lucid dream while
Yeah.
you were being observed by
Yes.
a floor walker or a dream walker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or or maybe I became aware that they were watching me, and then like you said, like in a lucid way, seeing them,
Yeah.
and then boom, they're gone.
Wow.
But it's weird because the more I think about it, it's almost like her face kind of moved around.
But then again, like I mean,
Like I was kind of moving around, looking like fuck, and her face is kind of doing one of these things, like moving circular, like in this weird circular pattern, like following me, kind of mirroring me. I'm like moving around, and she's kind of like, I'm like, what the fuck? And I freak out, and I wake up.
right? Like well, like you
I'm
were
getting
saying.
bad chills thinking about it. Like look like my hair's standing up.
I see it.
I mean, that's some evidence right there.
Put your pants back on, Adam.
Yeah. I mean, I literally have goosebumps. My hair standing up.
But well, like you were saying though, is like you're not sure if that falls into like a ghosty ghost category or an
some
alien type
physical entity.
thing. But who's to say that if an alien type thing is a real thing,
Yeah.
maybe they're
A ghost
what,
type thing.
What maybe
Sure.
they are what contribute to the ghost sightings.
Exactly. Or
Maybe
vice
there
versa.
is only one, or
You know, like
maybe it's like a dimensional thing.
Yeah.
And there's no ghosts or aliens, and it's just like a tear in
Yeah.
like space time, and we're able to see these certain things at certain times.
Exactly. The stuff of a cult.
knows?
I know, it's like mind
Yeah.
blown. Because what if the stuff that people worship in a cult, or like with a cult,
Yeah.
the occult, what if they're just other entities from other dimensions or aliens or whatever?
Yeah.
I mean, not really demons.
Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that was freaky. And that's something I'll bring up later again when we talk about aliens, because I have some other stories about that.
Right. And we could also bring it up again when we talk about lucid dreaming. So if you guys want to hear this
Yes.
story like multiple times, just keep on
will hear it.
keep on checking in with us here at Learning to Curse.
The sense I get is
rehash old stories.
Exactly. We're gonna keep rehashing this stuff and adding to it. And honestly, the vibe I'm getting from all this is that everything's connected.
Yeah.
All these things are
Yeah.
connected one way or another, and by the main way, I would say by science.
You won't? Or you will
by
be?
the main way
Is
I
by
would say
science?
that it's connected is by science.
Yeah.
it's just
There's
science.
like I was saying,
Our
before.
personal science hasn't caught up to
Exactly. We
explain
just
all these
haven't made
things
it
yet.
there to the point where we can actually definitively explain these things.
Exactly.
You know, like
And
again.
so you'll have your groups like
before we did the double slit experiment.
Yes.
we didn't realize that particles behave the way that
like
they
waves. We had no idea of wave particle duality.
do. Right.
Yeah, and the experiment, I believe, was for something completely non-related.
Right.
And they came across this. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, and that's another great thing we could talk about, too, and how that can lend itself to multiple dimensions and multi-dimensional beings. And
I mean, the Higgs boson,
and,
like dark matter.
Exactly.
Other,
all that shit.
like string theory, quantum physics.
Mechanics.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot that we know, but there's also, I mean, the amount that we do currently know could be a minuscule fraction of what there is to actually know.
The time that our species has existed in comparison to what we think is the length of time that encompasses our universe is very minuscule.
Oh yeah. I mean,
we've been here for a fucking blink of the eye.
Like, what is it? Somebody had put it in terms of a clock, and
we haven't moved a second.
Yeah. No, if you were to follow it like a clock,
clockwise,
we came in at like 11:59.
Wow.
Yeah. Everything else before that is the time before humans showed up. So.
Yep.
Currently, I mean, there's so much out there that we just don't know.
Mm-hmm. And every time we do know,
like, I mean, again, as far as like putting definitive labels on it, I think we were talking about this the other day about like old like scientific shows when they were talking about dinosaurs, right?
Yep.
And they're like, this dinosaur specifically had like green skin, and it would eat like.
Now the good scientists will say, we think,
yeah, but no, like you remember those programs where they would say, or in like certain books or whatever, they would specifically say this dinosaur had this type of skin. Definitively say this about these things. And like, how the fuck do you know this when all you have is a toe bone?
Now the T-Rex is a fucking chicken.
Right?
KFC.
That fucking shit in like Jurassic Park where like the goddamn dinosaur can't see you if you don't move. Huh?
Like that.
What?
I mean, I may be wrong. I love reptiles, but I don't think that's the case with reptiles.
I don't think so.
They will sense you.
They can observe you.
They will fucking sense you with their tongue. Not licking you.
Well, they have more than one.
Don't get too excited.
They have more. They have multiple senses.
Exactly.
That they can detect certain things with.
Yeah.
If the case was that T-Rex couldn't see you unless you moved, evolutionarily, its prey would have learned that, and that's why the T-Rex would have died off, because every time it came near, everything would have just been like, don't fucking move.
He's got little fucking toothpick fingers. He ain't gonna get you.
Don't move.
He can't even grab you.
Until he leaves. Steve, sit still. If you move, he'll see you. Steve. But yeah.
Steve, why'd you get eaten by the big chicken?
Big fucking chicken.
Yeah, damn it. And then feathers. Oh, they have feathers.
Yeah. Well, there has actually been,
proof of it fossilized.
Well, not even that, is that they've actually done genetic modifications to chicken. And
the big old thunder thigh ones?
Well, not even that, is that they've been able to determine and manipulate the cells that turn into feathers.
Yeah.
And turn them into scales.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then give them the big old thunder thighs.
Yeah.
Did you see that one?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Big
GMOs.
Jumbo legs. I want that chicken for dinner. Colonel Sanders, get on it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so yeah, I think the point we were just trying to make is that we don't know.
And when we do discover something, that just gives us a billion more questions.
Exactly. And questions are great. When we stop
questioning, and we attribute it to magic and gods and all that.
Well, or attribute it to magic, attribute it to gods, attribute it to spirits or ghosts or aliens, and put a goddamn label on it without
knowing for sure,
having the evidence to put that label on it. Mm-hmm. It's like, why are you telling me that these creatures have scales when all you have is a toe bone? Why are you telling me that it's a ghost when all you have is a sighting, without actually being able to demonstrate
or a picture or video with an orb,
right?
Or the one person saw it, their eyewitness testimony.
Yeah, I mean, I get it that shit happens,
or EVP,
but telling me it's where they are like, yes, this person died, and now their spirit is roaming this area. How the fuck do you know that?
Exactly.
Who told you that?
Right.
Where'd you get that information?
And even in the case where, let's say you have a spirit box session, which I am.
Dirty.
Oh yeah, I am planning on getting a spirit box. I was planning on
You get a
spooging
spirit-
my spirit in her box.
You put your ghost cock in the spirit
Yes.
box.
And then I come up with a fucking bearded pepper.
Oh, good God. Yay.
So
We should have a little tinkling bell that goes off every time we mention the bearded pepper.
we need to sing along with the bouncing pepper.
Oh, God.
Anyways, what the fuck was I even saying?
Spirit box.
I am
Putting
planning
your
on
two
getting a
fingers
spirit
in the
box.
spirit box.
I'm planning on getting the SB7, the preferred one.
Yeah.
The older, tried and true. We'll get the SB7 spirit box, and we'll actually do some sessions ourselves.
Okay.
Which will come up as video episodes, like
Cool.
separate from our main, episodic adventure.
Yep.
So, and we plan on doing a lot of experiments actually on the show.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, as much as what we can test.
Which really
to the
goes hand in
point-
hand with what we're talking about here with the,
Yeah.
the spirits and the ghosts. And all
Right.
that. So, but I bring that up because I want to get a spirit box. Mm-hmm. And let's say there's a session where this voice tells us, I'm Ronald Reagan. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I'm trying to build Star Wars in space.
What we should do is, as far as like a Ouija board,
Yeah.
where we can video ourselves
Doing
with
this.
a Ouija
Yes.
board, and I definitely will guarantee you that I'm not going to move the fucking.
I can guarantee you
stylus
I
or whatever
won't.
it is.
Because we're not trying to sensationalize this shit. We want answers. We don't
Yeah,
want to.
and it's not like we're out to debunk it either. We're
Yeah.
really going to test it.
Yeah.
You know, if it works, it works. If it moves on its
You pushed
own,
it.
we will know. But you know,
Yeah. But let's say something comes through, talks to us through, and says it's definitively this person. Mm-hmm. Even then, through the spirit box or EVP or fucking Ouija board, how do we know?
right?
How do we know it's not something else telling us that?
Yeah, or something else fucking with us. You know,
Or even someone.
Yeah.
If they can hear us through the, walkie-talkies,
Yeah.
walkie-talkies phones.
Like we were talking about with the
Exactly.
cordless phones before, where they could pick up those transmissions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't know until you know.
You know.
And we're going to try to know.
Did we just quote? Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't know, now you know.
Yeah, I was thinking Biggie.
Yeah.
But we didn't quite say it, but now we did.
Now we did. Fuck it.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
He's dead. He can't sue us.
We'll talk about more ghosties because we have tons of stories.
I think Biggie Smalls is a ghost.
Yeah, he's. Oh man,
Oh well.
he's not with us anymore.
He's not. Yeah. I mean, if it wasn't the bullets that were gonna kill him, it was cholesterol.
It happened to that other rapper, Big Pun. He had a heart attack.
Yeah. Yeah. Poor Big Pun.
But if we do an EVP test or a spirit box test, I like the spirit box because it's in real time. You hear it. The voice is coming through. We can demand that it's somebody that's celebrity.
Right.
We can try for celebrity. That way people know the voice and see what comes through.
Right.
And we have to be able to repeat this test
Yeah.
and have it, like the conditions just right to where we know it's not tampered with.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we're going to do
I
this.
like Spirit Box because it sounds like a ghost cunt.
It's my jizz in a box.
Oh.
I think that's a wrap for this one.
I think so too. Thank you guys for tuning in.
It's definitely not the end of the spirit talk.
No.
Yeah, we got so many more stories to tell. So.
Yeah.
So it'll be like a episode whatever, part
Number
2,
whatever.
part 3 of this particular topic.
Yeah.
So-
And again, I mean, if you guys have any shits that has happened to you,
Shits. I've had a lot of shits. I shits daily.
any fucked up weirdness that has gone on in your lives that kind of
hemorrhoids
correlates
count?
with what we've been talking about today. If you want to hit us up on the Twitters, let us know.
Twat us.
I think this
That's what I saw a tweetie.
and I hate what'd you fucking say?
I don't know.
you twat, you
It's
twat.
3:26 in the morning, damn it.
Oh my god.
Good God.
I hate using the term hashtag, but because
Yeah. Hash browns?
hash
Let's
brown.
just call it hash brown.
Okay, so hash brown ghosty ghost. and what was the other one? Ghosty Ghost and
Green Eye Girl.
yeah. It's not Brown Eyed Girl. The song's about anal
That's the
sex.
butthole.
Yeah. But yeah, so just hashtag Ghosty Ghost. Let us know if any weird shit has happened to you. We want to know anything that kind of lines up with some of the stuff that I've been talking about, what Adam's been talking about.
Yeah.
We
Tell
want
us
to hear
about
about
your
it.
ghost. And ghost, tell us about your humans.
Right. Yeah. Any ghosts out there? If you want to tell us about your humans experience, where you're walking down the street and all of a sudden this human comes out and it scares the living shit out of you.
Bejesus.
Yeah.
The bejesus.
Yeah, you were a little dark, like a shadowy ghost, and you get scared, and you're all like a Casper white ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're not such a friendly ghost,
What about nuts?
you can still,
A not so,
not so.
not so,
That's a good name.
not so.
Not so.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the name of our ghost mascot.
Yes.
Not so.
The
Not so. The ghosty
Not so
ghost.
friendly ghost. Get it?
Yeah.
It's not so friendly ghost.
Yes. This isn't a ghost. This is me moving my shit.
Yeah.
Not my real literal shit, but my microphone. So have
That's me scratching
have
my
yourself a happy Valentine's Day, and thank you for joining in.
Yeah. Happy Hanukkah.
Yeah, I think that's multiple days.
Yes.
All right,
I mean, you can listen to this multiple times.
you can.
It's not going to improve our views.
8 nights, 8 crazy nights. You can listen to this every time you light the menorah.
8 crazy nights in Yarmulke.
Yes. So,
Oh, shit.
have a good night, guys. Thank you again for joining us.
Thank you for being a friend.
I am trying to do the goddamn outro, Adam.
Hey, who doesn't love Betty White?
Blanche.
Yeah, no, she loves her. Good night, everybody.